Okay guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna be building this right here. So I'm pretty much just gonna show you guys how to create a React application and pretty much how to center something in the middle of the browser or your screen, So let's get started, guys. Okay, so for this you're gonna need to have Visual Studio Code, okay, because that's what I like to use. And what we do is do this. Okay, so you choose your terminal, right, when you open it. And you go to the place where you want to keep your stuff, right? In my case, I want to go to documents. So I go to documents. Then in documents, I have a folder called YouTube, I believe. So I can go into that. Do it. Let's check with ls. Okay, let's check. Do we? I do have it. You see YouTube. So I go cd YouTube. Okay. Now we're in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new project, right? And what are we gonna call it? We're gonna say npx. No. Let's make it into a folder, right? So we say make dir, and we're gonna name it I don't know, sample. Okay, my sample folder. Now I have to travel to my sample folder, and then in here is where I create it. So create react. Oh, my bad, guys. It's actually npx create react app, and then whatever you want to call it. In my case, got, right? Okay, this is gonna take a while depending on your internet speed, and how fast your computer is. So if it's taking a while for you guys, don't worry. Just wait for it, and then it should be working fine. What it's doing is pretty much installing all the packages that we're gonna need to be able to use all the different packages inside our React app. Okay. All right, there we go. Almost there. All right, so here we go. All right, so now what we do is go into that folder, right? You can say codex, and then you're in it, right? You can close this one, and then this one is gonna be your primary VS project. So as you can see, you have the app here, right? And the way that you can see if it's working or not, it's you start the application, right? So the way that you start it is you go to the project's terminal, you say npm start, and then this will start it in your browser under what happened? Oh, okay. So the thing right here is that I saved everything under sample, right? That's the name of my folder. But if you see, like, got is its own folder, so we go into that, right? So got, and now we're inside the actual project. We can do npm start. Okay. And there we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about my dog. Okay. So as you guys can see, it's working now. We have the React thing spinning there. And now we're gonna do something called the cleanup process, just so we have a clean canvas, a clean slate, so we can start building this. All right. Okay. So in order to do that, we have to get rid of all of this right here. You change this to a normal lowercase a. On the app CSS, you get everything. You delete everything. You delete this folder right here. All right. You also delete this logo right here. Okay. And that's pretty much it, right? Now you have this couple errors here because we don't have that logo no more. And then yeah, there we go, we have it. Now you can test it, see if it's working. Just do a normal tag here and just say hello, right? And you should display. Okay, see, but you guys notice how we have a little bit of space here above it? We don't want that, right? Because let's say we were to start our application components right here, then we'll have that blank space at the top. How do we get rid of that, right? The way that you do it is you go to the index CSS, and then you're gonna target everything, right? So you pretty much, the way you do that is by a start, and then you just say margin, right? And then 0. and then bam. So now we're good. Now we have our clean canvas, right? So what do we need? We need something that looks like that, like this, right? Now we already know um, that we're gonna have a component, right? And this component is pretty much gonna have, it's gonna pretty much gonna be this. This is gonna be my component, right? Think of it like a box, and then inside of it, I'm gonna have a picture, right? And then I'm gonna have two components, so two other little squares. Okay, so you guys can think of them as one big box and then little boxes inside of it. Okay, now the way that you do a component is you have to name it, and then when you name it, is a capital letter at the beginning, and that's how you differentiate that this is a component. Okay, so in my case, I want to name it, what should we name it? Picture. Okay, we'll name it picture, right? Now we're getting an error because we haven't made this component yet, right? So the way that we make it is you go to source, you click new file, and then you make it. So in my case, I want to name it picture, and then you say .js because that's what we need to make it. And then you also need to make its corresponding CSS file, right? Because how we're gonna style it, we need a CSS file. So then you say picture.css. And now this is a way to maintain everything neat, right? When you work with React and you have a lot of components, you can also create another folder and then name a component and then keep all the components in there, right? And then it's just a neat way to maintain everything in order, you know? Okay, so now you go to the picture JS file, and then in here there's something really cool that helps you a lot when you're building your different projects with React. It's called ES7 React Snippets, right? And so make sure you guys install this. So whenever you create a new component, it's really simple. All you have to do is type in this right here, and then it gives you the component for like automatically for you to use, right? Which is really nice. Now I like to just rename everything because I like to make it lowercase because I'm following the a BAM convention. It's like a styling of your components and how you name them and stuff. All right, so that's what we're following here. That's why I'm using this. Okay, now we have our picture. This is gonna be this right here. So the big one right here, right? That's gonna be picture. That's the wrapper. Okay. Now we have an image. Okay. The image is gonna be a tag, right? And then for the class name, we're gonna name it picture. Picture logo. Okay. Okay. And the source, we need a source obviously. So the source is gonna be and you guys can find this picture on Google. Just type in Daenerys avocado meme, and then you guys should be able to find it, right? Now, so we have it. We have the source, and then you also need like an alt property because just in case the source is broken, right? So you guys make sure you guys do that, and you guys can name it whatever you want. And now we have this picture here, and it says picture is not defined. Where is it not defined? In app. Oh, I haven't imported yet. That's why. So you have to import it. You feel me? So import, and then you're in the same source folder. So the way that you describe that is by saying dot and then dash. That means that you're in the same folder. And then you just say the name of the component, which is picture, right? And then that should be able to do it. But there's an error somewhere. Oh, I forgot from my bad. Okay. Now you guys can see that the picture is there. There's an error somewhere here. I don't know why, but it says picture is not defined. Where is it not defined? Okay, I think there's no errors no more. Compile successfully. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So let's keep going. So now we got the image, right? What else do we need? We need the text at the bottom, right? Now I mentioned that this is own container, and the way that you explain that this is own container is you say it means it's a div, right? So let's say it's gonna be picture text. Okay. Now in this picture text, I'm gonna have a header3 file, right? And then this is gonna say that special moment. All right. Now you guys can see it came up right there. And then I'm gonna have another component, right? I mean, not component, another div right here, right? Okay. And then that one is gonna be called picture underscore underscore text 2. So we'll call this text 1, and then we'll call this one text 2, right? Oh man, that didn't work. Yeah, text 2. All right. Now in this one we're gonna have a p tag, and then this p tag is gonna say when you find the perfect avocado at the supermarket. Alright, you see? So we made this a header because, as you guys can see, it's kind of bigger, right? Like the header in is much thicker. It looks, looks bigger. So that's why I made it a header in H3. And then the bottom is just kind of like a text, right? So I just named it a P because P, it's a P tag for whenever you're writing a lot of text in there, right? Now let's do the magic. This is where the magic happens in the CSS to make it look nice, right? All right. So the way that we attack this is first we gotta do the poster, right? I mean the picture, the wrapper, and then we gotta style it so it could give the properties of what we need inside of it, right? So we're gonna attack this parent to make it be in the center, and then display everything that we need, right? So we need to move this whole thing together in order to accomplish that. Okay, so what we do is say display flex, right? And then we say flex direction. We want it to be in a column, right? It's already like that, but we need it just for the following. We say justify content center, right? And then we say align items at the center. Okay. Now, oh man, see, no wonder I was wondering, like, why isn't it doing anything? But it's because, like, I forgot to do the import. So guys, make sure that whenever you guys make a new component, import it right away, because you'll be forgetting to import it, and then it's not gonna show unless you go back and realize that you forgot, Okay, so we gotta import the picture CSS file. Okay, and then now all of this gave us its properties. Okay, now we keep going. So we want its position to be absolute, because if we move it to the middle, we don't want it to move from there, right? So we want it to be absolute. And then we say the top, go 50% down from the top. Boom, right? Now we want it to be also 50% in from the left, right? Boom, there you go. Now you guys can see it's coming along. Okay, alright, so it moved 50% from the top and 50% from the left. Okay, and now to center it, we're gonna do transform translate minus 50%, minus 50%. Okay, and then there you go. Bam, magic, right? Now this is not necessary, but I like to do it because it sets up like a default just in case. And you give it a max width and a max height, right, of 90%. Okay. Now we pretty much center it in the middle like we wanted it, right? So now we're gonna target the size of the actual picture itself. So we grab the class name, we target it, we say object fit contain, and then this pretty much contains like the picture itself regardless of the size, right? Because if you stretch it, the picture is gonna stretch, and then the picture itself becomes stretched, right? And we don't want that. We want it to maintain its picture. Like, we want it to maintain and be a picture of something, not just something like stretched out, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so the way that you do that is you say object fit contain, and then now every time you change the height, it won't matter. So you say height of 200 pixels, right? And then bam, there you go. That's what we want. Now, in order to achieve this little border thing here, one of the ways that you can do that is give the whole picture a border. So I'm gonna give it a border of 3 pixels, and then solid, and then I'm gonna give it a color white smoke. Okay, now you see it already has that border like color around it, just like in the sample that we're trying to accomplish, right? Nice. Now we're pretty much done with that, right? We want to target now the special moment, this one right here. The way that we target it is also attack this target. It's class, I mean. Okay, so target the class, right? And then here we want text align because we want to center it, right? So you center, it's already centered, but we do that anyways because in case you open that we make the screen wider or whatever, it might move, right? So you want to make sure that you clarify and you state that you want that to be in the center. Now, we want to move it from the top a little bit, so you guys can see like this part here is very close to the picture. So the way that you move it is you say margin top, and let's say 10 pixels, right? So it's gonna move down a little bit. There you go. Now the font size, let's maintain it as a large font size, right? Alright, cool. Now that's pretty much, that's alright, I like it. Now we wanna target the rest of the stuff, the text too, okay? Again, repeat the process. You grab the class, target the class name, and then you want the text align again to be in the center always, right? And you want to move it from the top a little bit again because it's a little bit too close. So let's say another 10 pixels. No, 10 pixels, not 20. Alright, and this is where the font size can be manipulated, right? You say font size of 0.4 REM. REM means that you want to target 40% of the root size, right? So in this case, picture text, the root of this is the picture, this one, right? So the size of that is dependent for this one, right? So if the size were to change on this one, on the parent, on the root, right? Then the font size would be compared to that 40%. Does that make sense? So one REM makes it like the size of this whole div, right? Because it's 100% the size of that. But we don't want 100%. We want just 40% is okay. It looks fine, right? And then there you have it, guys. As you guys can see, we've accomplished centering the div. We gave the little border around it. You guys learned about REM, how to target the font size depending on the root, right? And then this is a simple project, a simple example of how you can manipulate JavaScript and CSS and HTML using React in order to accomplish beautiful things like this. You know, this is something simple. I'm definitely gonna start making more videos. So if you guys like this type of content, you know, follow me, subscribe, like, and comment, and then you know, stay tuned. I'm gonna start for sure putting up way more content. You know, I have a lot of projects that I've worked on, and I want to showcase this to you guys. So yeah, follow me, like and comment. Like I said, turn on the notifications, and let's go. We barely started. We're going to the top. Yes, sir.